So, a couple of days ago, Nintendo had their first Nintendo Direct in quite a few months, and it was focused, as we all know, solely on the Nintendo 3DS. Now, that was pretty cool. It turned out to be a solid Nintendo Direct. I enjoyed most of what I saw. I didn't necessarily love every game that they showed. There were a lot of games that weren't really interesting to me, but the overall presentation and the quality of most of the games, even the ones I wasn't super into, was pretty much on point. There was a lot of great stuff. There was a couple of cool surprises. The Mario Sports thing is really interesting, and I've been someone who's been clamoring for a brand new excellent, fully featured Mario Golf game. Like, I would die if a console kick-ass Mario Golf game came out. And I do think it's neat that a Mario Golf, some form of golf is included in that sports game. That is pretty cool, but it's not really what I wanted out of a Mario Golf game. It's a compilation with other sports. It's another one on the 3DS, and the Mario Golf on the 3DS that came out a couple of years ago was great, and that was a good kind of game to tide me over. But really, I'm looking for that big next-gen, probably Nintendo NX, console Mario Golf experience that emulates the Toadstool Tour and the Mario Golf 64 and just so many of those great games. Maybe one day we'll get that, but that is not this game. So that being said, it was definitely interesting and very surprising for most people, of course myself included, that the first Nintendo Direct that we had in many months and the first time we heard anything from Nintendo about any sort of new content in a very long time, pretty much since E3, was a Nintendo Direct focused on the 3DS, and there was no speak, no whispers, no rumors or rumblings about the Nintendo NX. And for most of these last couple of months, pretty much since E3, we've all been thinking at some point Nintendo's going to talk to us about the NX, just tell us when they're going to reveal the thing, and that was not this day. It was a 3DS focused event. So what I wanted to discuss with you guys is why Nintendo probably decided to focus on the 3DS, why that seems to be their main goal right now, as opposed to showing us the Nintendo NX. So ultimately, I think that there's two main reasons for them to focus on the 3DS right now and why they have yet to show us the Nintendo NX, even though there are rumors and talks that within the next 2 weeks, they're going to finally have their reveal event for the NX. The reason they're probably focusing on the 3DS, one of the main reasons right now, is pretty much to have something to sell for the holidays. This was actually something that someone else on YouTube, either a comment section or a video, I can't remember now, and I feel terrible I can't mention who this was, but somebody brought this up in the last couple of days that they needed to have something to actually sell this year. They're not selling anything for the Wii U. They're having one game come out, Mario Paper Color Splash, sorry. That's the only Wii U game they have coming out for consoles. And we know that the Nintendo NX right now is supposed to be coming out in March. I'm still starting to wonder if it's going to get delayed. But as of right now, it's March, which, if anything, does mean 2017, not this year. So the only thing that they can really have to sell this year, beyond the little NES Mini thing that they're releasing, is 3DS products. So they announced a new 3DS with a Galaxy color scheme. And they had a Nintendo 3DS, Nintendo Direct, and they announced a bunch of new games. They, touched on a couple of things for next year, like Pikmin, which I'm so excited for. But for the most part, they're showing games that are coming up for the 3DS this year, so that for the holidays, the big time when everyone tries to sell the most stuff and come out with the most exciting products, they have something to put on shelves and something to make people excited for and something to advertise for. And I think that makes sense. That's a smart business move, you guys. The Nintendo 3DS is a great machine. I love my 3DS. I've been going through a 3DS resurgence this year. I didn't play it much last year at all. The year before, when Smash Brothers came out, I played it quite a bit. I think Smash Brothers on the 3DS is awesome. This last year, 2016, I should say, has been great. Between Monster Hunter and Fire Emblem, two brand new Fire Emblem games, and for myself, Metroid Prime Federation Force, which I'm playing a lot of right now, there's been a couple of kick-ass games, and I've even been going back through some of the old ones, and I want to rebuy Luigi's Mansion 2. I just am feeling the 3DS love this year, and I don't even think it had anything to do with a slow Wii U year. I just genuinely was kind of into playing games on my 3DS, and I think that that's really neat. So coming into this fall, they needed to have something to sell, and Nintendo doesn't have a real console product and a console focus right now. It sucks. It would be nice if they had more games planned to come out for the Wii U. It would be nice if there was more communication happening with the gamer and with the Nintendo fan about their next console and what's really happening there. Sadly, they're just not ready to do that, and the announcement of this Nintendo Direct as a 3DS Direct told me that. I was disappointed, and at the end of the day, I think that it's really unfortunate that with so much silence from Nintendo for so long, and they know that all of their fans in the gaming community are waiting to find out about their next console because they have basically completely buried their current console, I think gamers have a right to be wondering what's happening with their next console. We know they're making it. They've told us the NX is a thing. So when we finally were going to hear from Nintendo for the first time after months of silence, I think that we ultimately deserved to hear something about their next console. And I think it's a shame that they didn't do that. But all that it tells me is they're still just not ready. And as I said before on many videos, even though I think it sucks, I do think Nintendo has earned the right to have this period to get their ducks in a row, however long that takes. I'm happy to give them 8 or 9 months to just get shit prepared. You know, they've given me decades of entertainment, so if they need this weird, awkward 8 months to get stuff ready, then that's fine. So, even though I was initially disappointed, the 3DS Direct turned out to be pretty cool. And, you know, like I said, they have to have something to sell. The 3DS is a popular machine, and the games do sell really well when they're good. So it makes sense, and I'm happy to have given them this Nintendo Direct. I enjoyed it. The other reason that they're probably focusing on the 3DS right now as opposed to the Nintendo NX, I think honestly, is just to get it out of the way. I think that beyond the business strategy of having product to sell for the holidays, I think there's a different business strategy that actually does directly relate to the Nintendo NX, and that's to just get everything else 3DS, out of the way and just say, hey, let's take all of our marketing and all of our focus and our push on the 3DS and let's just get that done. Let's get that out. The machine is around. It's existing for a while. This does tell me that the 3DS is going to be a push for another year or two, which also tells me that the Nintendo NX probably isn't doing anything on the portable side, but that's just a guess. I could be wrong. I'm not one of those people that's going to theorize like a NeoGAF for them. So yeah, I think Nintendo was saying, let's just get all of our 3DS stuff out of the way, because when we're going to focus on the NX, when we're going to show off the NX, when we're going to try to tell the gamer and the consumer and the Nintendo fan, this is our big thing, this is our future for right now, this is what you should be excited for, this is what you should start saving your money for and be prepared and excited to buy and purchase in the next 6, 7, 8 months or whenever this thing comes out. They need to be 100% committed and devoted to that message, and to be able to say, this is the thing, look at all of this stuff. No confusing messages about handhelds and portables and the 3DS and blah, blah, blah. I don't think that when the NX reveal event happens that anyone wants to be worried about Nintendo 3DS content sneaking its way into that presentation and any sort of melding of the two machines. No one will really want that. By the time the NX is finally being showed to us, which, you guys, it's really weird when you like stop and take a step back and actually think that sometime in the next few weeks to months, we finally will see this thing. We've lived in such a crazy world this last year with the Nintendo NX mystery and the slow death of the Wii U that we all saw play out over, the course of 2016. And all of the rumor and the hype and the peanut gallery just getting larger and louder and more vocal as this year has gone on over what's happening with the NX and all these rumors, and 78 different websites having 78 different rumors with 78 different patent drawings about what the goddamn NX is going to be. This has been unprecedented, and this is like a time that we're going to have to kind of remember. I mean, right now we're still on the other side of the looking glass, and in the next couple of weeks we'll probably cross over to the side of the looking glass that we actually want to be on, and all of a sudden we will actually know what the goddamn Nintendo NX really and truly is, and that's going to be really weird, you guys. So this point where everything is really exciting and mysterious and there's rumors all over the place, yes, it can be frustrating sometimes, but it's also kind of cool. And we're, a year from now, we're going to look back and be like, man, remember that? Remember what it was like when we were all just guessing what the NX is, and every day there were new rumors and like just the mystery of it all? And I think it's going to be fondly remembered as an exciting time. Yes, we'll remember the frustrating elements too, but I think we'll remember the exciting stuff, and that's pretty cool. Anyway, I got sidetracked and I kind of tangented. The point is, I think Nintendo hopefully is planning on just having a very focused, loud, and abrasive, in a good way, abrasive message about this is the NX, this is our future, this is what Nintendo is, look at this machine and the things that it can do, and hopefully, air quotes, hopefully, all of the great games. With any luck, a huge focus of the reveal is going to be about games, and through that, Nintendo needed to say, we need all of our 3DS stuff out of the way. Like I said, the 3DS is a great machine with a lot of potential still and a lot of future. It's interesting how the machine has a good amount of power, but is also still considered kind of underpowered for a lot of what we want out of gaming, and even compared to a lot of cell phones nowadays. Yet still, I think a lot of us, including Nintendo, can see a pretty bright future for still another 2 years out of the thing. I mean, Nintendo, it is stupidly insane how well Nintendo can market and make their handheld products work. Because any other company, even if they've had a machine that had been successful like the 3DS had been, this would probably be the point where that company would start to flounder and lose the messaging of their handheld and not sure how to market it and not making great games that are making it seem like it has a long life. But I have complete faith in Nintendo to make the 3DS last for still another 2 years, have great games coming out that people want to buy, that are reviewing very well, and that are extending the life of the thing, even though it's fairly outdated at this point, and we should all be thinking about maybe the next handheld or the next portable and all these different things. But then you get into the conversation about what Nintendo might be doing on the mobile side and how that could affect their portable market going forward, and that's a whole nother conversation and a tangent I refuse to go into right now. So long story short, I just think that Nintendo has a lot of ideas with what they want to do with the 3DS. I think that they needed to make a big push to say, this is the products we have to sell this holiday. Please be interested. Look at this great stuff. It's all very high quality content. Lots of RPG stuff, Dragon Quest, Pikmin coming next year, DLC for games that already exist, Monster Hunter stuff, Mario sports stuff. Like, there's a lot of cool things happening to be excited for the 3DS, and even Metroid Prime Federation Force, which, like you've heard me say, is actually really good, and I hope people start keying into that pretty soon. So Nintendo had to say, here's the stuff we have to sell this holiday. Also, let's get it out of the way so that in a few weeks, when we finally show you what our future is for home consoles, that we have nothing to show you but that and make you excited for the Nintendo NX and our next generation. So I don't know. That's kind of what I think is going on and why Nintendo's doing a big push on the 3DS right now. It helped me get over my initial disappointment that we were getting a 3DS Nintendo Direct and not one focused on the Nintendo NX. And with any luck, we get a huge presentation, hopefully like a live press conference in a couple of weeks. So tell me what you think about this. Does this theory make sense? Are you still enjoying the Nintendo 3DS stuff, or are you just sick of it and ready for the Nintendo NX, like most of us probably are? Share your feelings about it below, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. This is Rob of Rule to Review, and I will catch you guys next time on another video.